So we're Legacy Fables. We're a storytelling company, and right now we can't really do our stories for people because everybody's kind of on quarantine. So we thought it'd be really cool to share our system for doing stories so that people can do these things at home and have adventures at home, so the confines of your space doesn't feel so confining. This way you can go do lots of cool things using your imagination. So right now the system is very simple. We're starting this one by creating a character. And the way we decided to do this is we took the lists at the last page of our free guide and we just cut them up and put them in these different cups. And Ronan picked some, and because Ronan's still learning to read, he decided to draw a picture of each of them. Ronan, can you explain what you have here?
Actually, he's chewing. While he does that, why don't I pick out my piece?
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, so I picked out, for my item, I have anti-magic manacles. For my my weapon is a gravity cannon, and my skill is leadership. And that's done.
Cool. And you pulled those out of these cups?
Yeah.
Ronan, what do you have?
I have invisibility, and a cheetah boomerang, and a magnetic shield.
That's so cool.
Perfect.
And so you did eyes for invisibility, and this is such a good magnetic shield. And your cheetah boomerang, I love the color.
Yeah.
So, and we talked to Ronan about what would help him remember it, because he's 4. So some people might just need to write it down, some people might memorize it, but whatever helps you kind of stay in the mindset of what you pick up is what we're going for.
Yeah. So the thing is, this system can be as simple as you want it, depending on the groups you're playing with. It can be dramatic stories, they can be fun and silly. It's really whatever you want. What this is all about is connection and creativity, and that's what Fables is really all about. So really fun, really easy to learn for any age, and we're gonna do it now. What you need next is just a deck of cards. Honey, could you shuffle those?
Yeah, of course. This is a fully sealed box. Go ahead, you can just rip it. Yeah, thank you. Oh, here, I'm gonna shuffle them. Don't worry, you'll be able to pick some.
Yeah, I know. It's just that. How are you shuffling? How are you shuffling?
I practiced a lot.
You just pull two apart and then you like wiggle.
Yeah, so I hold them apart and I kind of like push my thumbs or knuckles together
Yes,
and
that's
slowly let them fall out. And
That's-
then I just fold it up.
That's how I do it with books.
That's awesome.
Okay. So you put your cards down in front of you, and you're ready to go. So the first thing we're gonna do.
Too far.
That's right. I'll put them closer to you. The first thing that we're gonna do is come up with a story we're gonna do. I like to prepare stories a lot of times, but to show you how easy this is, we're gonna kind of start with something on the spot, a little story prompt, and see where it goes. So, Ronan, I need your help with this. There's a bad guy in the story, and his name is. Why don't you make one up for me? What do you think his name is?
Black Widow.
Black Widow. Okay, so we have a bad guy or bad girl.
Bad guy.
Bad guy in the story named Black Widow. And Alicia, he has stolen a
Pile of gold.
pile of gold.
Yeah, because he's a bad guy. Black Widow is a bad guy from Spider-Man.
And Ronan, who did he steal this pile of gold from?
A leprechaun store.
A leprechaun store?
All of the gold.
Is this a store where you buy pet leprechauns, or is this a store where
Wait.
leprechauns sell stuff?
Yeah, they just sell gold, but the bad guy stole all of the gold.
Okay, so you were pulled aside by the town guard, and they said, "We've heard of your special skills, and we need your help." It turns out that the local leprechaun store has been robbed. And you say, "What did they steal?" And he says, "All of the leprechaun's gold. And we need you to try and find out who took it and get it back."
I can do it.
Are you willing to take this assignment?
Yes.
Okay, what would you like to do now?
Find the bad guy.
Okay, how are you going to do that, Ronan? What's your first step?
going on roofs because I'm Spider-Man.
You're gonna go on roofs?
Yeah, because I'm Spider-Man.
Okay, so
And Mom?
Yeah.
You're Spider-Man's psychic.
The Spider-Man sidekick?
yes.
Hey, I think my character needs to be talked about for a second. Because I have leadership skills. I would like to direct us, if I can, where to go.
Sure, so first,
The
Ronan,
roof sounds great.
I need you to draw your fate to see if you're able to get up onto the roof. So, Ronan drew a red, which means he succeeded. So, you drew red and you go over to the closest building, the guard kind of sitting there, he's having a conversation with you, and suddenly you step away and you begin climbing up the wall of a building.
No, like a really tall building.
The tallest building you can find.
Yeah.
And luckily there are lots of kind of stones jutting out from the wall, and so you're able to climb all the way to the top. And Alicia, you look up and you suddenly see that your partner in crime here is standing atop the tallest building within 30 feet.
And I'm like, hey, partner, what's your name? Spider-Man. I want to come with you, okay? So I start climbing.
Okay, we'll have to see if you're able to.
Okay. The stones.
Black.
So
the stones are a little
Alicia,
slippery.
Alicia drew a black card, which means she failed. So she tries following in her partner's footsteps, and she puts her hands on the stone, and as you get about 10 feet up, one of the stones give way, and you crumple, you fall down back to the ground.
I yell up, hey, Spider-Man, I'm going to have to follow you on foot. You can keep going. We've got to catch this crook.
Okay, I'll pick.
What are you looking for? What do you want to pick for? What are you trying to do?
A red.
But what are you trying to do?
So I know. Running on buildings, and then jumping, trying to find the bad guy, and then I find it.
Okay, so you're going to see if you are able to spot the bad guy, because this robbery happened pretty recently. He might still be in town.
It could be close.
Black.
Oh.
So, you're running across the rooftops, and you're looking around for this bad guy, and you're not able to spot any. The sun's starting to set, and it's getting really dark. And what you know about thieves is they can be pretty sneaky. And then, because you're paying so much attention, you trip off the side of one of the buildings, and you fall 10, 15 feet, landing on the roof of another building. You stand up.
But
Didn't feel very good.
But Dad, actually, before I'm really close to it, I put one of my spider webs on the tallest building, and then I go back up.
Okay.
Apparently one of his skills is also spider webs.
Okay, you have spider webs? Okay, so when you tried to do this, you tried to shoot the spider webs, but something is wrong. Your spider webs aren't working.
We'll have to figure that out. But
You
I can't
have to try and figure out why.
Can I see where he landed? Can I see like
You hear a
dust?
thump on a building up above.
Okay, I'm gonna go investigate it and see if I can see what he.
You're trying to find out what happened to your partner?
Yeah, I want to see what happened to my partner.
Okay.
Black!
Apparently, it's really bad.
Yeah, it is getting darker now, and you're still feeling a little bit embarrassed by the way you fell off the wall earlier.
Yeah.
So you stumble around and you find an area where you know your partner's on one of these buildings.
Okay.
But you're not sure which building.
Are there any people around?
Yeah, there's lots of people kind of walking home from work at night.
I'm gonna ask someone close to me. Hey, did you guys see anything weird? My partner might have gotten hurt. I'm trying to find him.
Could you define weird for us?
Someone falling off of a building.
Oh, yes, I did. I saw that just yesterday, and then somebody else the day before. A bunch of hooligans practicing a new thing called parkour.
Oh my gosh,
Mhm.
I've never heard of this.
Yes.
Okay, well,
They were fine. They just bonked their heads a bit and went home, but...
do you know what direction it happened today? I'm really
Oh,
worried
today?
for my
Yes, I
partner.
just saw someone fall off a building just over there. They landed on the creamery where they're making cheese today.
Ah, okay.
Just follow the smell. It's very stinky.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just follow
And
the
then-
direction he pointed.
And then you went up to the
Not
top
yet.
of that building.
Not yet. I'm still looking for you. So
But before you
So-
find it, you go up.
okay.
So, Ronan, you crash down on top of this building. You begin to stand up, and it is so smelly. It stinks really bad in here. And when you look down, you realize that you hit the roof so hard that you broke a hole in it. And you kind of look in, and you're like, sorry, as bits of wood are now floating in some of the cheese because it's a
Oh.
cheese factory. And you look down, and you see a person that's draped all in really dark clothing, and they have 6 arms.
Oh.
That's Black Widow.
Yeah, you see and you go, oh, that is Black Widow. And over one shoulder is a giant bag. And inside that bag, you can see bits of gold coins and a little bit of a rainbow kind of spilling out of the bag on all sides. Black Widow looks up at you and seeing you, runs out of view.
No, actually, the Black Widow reaches me with his tongue because his tongue's really long.
You think that that's what he does?
Yeah, because Black Widow and Spider-Man, he has a really long tongue.
Okay, so just as that happens though, you dodge out of the way and it turns out the tongue isn't quite long enough to reach you. It's just a few inches too short from reaching you. And so you look as he runs away into the shadows. What are you going to do?
How close am I?
You are not really sure because you're not sure. Oh, you do know which building he's on. So you're running and you're probably about 15, 20 feet from the building.
Okay.
What do you do?
By the way, we encourage snacking during this game, so that is presently what Ronan is doing.
Okay, I'm going to let you think for a minute.
Okay,
Is there
I'm
anything
still
you'd like
running as fast as I can in the direction, and can I see any clues or anything disrupted from like the fall?
Well,
and I jump up, and then I just like, and then I fix my webbers, and then I can do the webs.
Okay, so you look over and you see some dust kind of sprinkling off one of the buildings and bits of leaves.
Absolutely,
and
gonna run toward that building.
You see someone kind of stand up on it, and you can tell that this is your partner, Spider-Man. Now you're gonna stand up after seeing Black Widow, and you're gonna see if you can fix her webbing. Go ahead and draw your fate.
Oh.
Wait. Yeah.
It's an ace.
Oh, what does ace mean?
Aces in Fables, if you'd like, are boons, which are special gifts from the fates. So this one allows you to succeed right now, and you can hold on to it later for an auto success if you want.
So you're saying you can use it now to succeed, or you can save it for another time?
No.
Or both?
It always is a success, but then you also get to keep it and use it later one time.
Oh, that's fun. So
Yeah.
2 successes from that
So
one card.
at this point, Black Widow has run away, and you're just barely fix your webbing. And what do you do now?
I go on top of the tallest building again, and then I just like keep running and jumping if there's any cracks. And then I reach to the tallest building, and then I get it with my webs, and then I just like fall on top of Black Widow's head.
Okay, so you look down and you can't see Black Widow inside the building anymore. So you decide that Black Widow's probably gotten out somehow. So you swing up to the highest building that you can see. You land on the perch, you look down, and down there you see your partner. Is your character named Alicia, or is it this person have a special name?
Well, I go by Knives.
Knives?
Yeah. Sorry, our baby is actively crying.
Baby?
I'll hold him.
You gotta join us? I think baby wants more snacks.
Yeah, you're doing hungry. Yeah, so I'm called Knives on the streets.
Okay.
But anyway, so I'm running, and I'm gonna try to crawl into the building through, I guess, where the hole in the roof is. It looks like there might.
Well, it's pretty high up there, and you're not particularly good at climbing, especially because you're carrying a big old gravity cannon on you.
That is true. Okay.
But as you get closer, you see something crawl out of the front of the building, out of an upper window. It looks almost like a giant spider, and when you look again, you realize that it's a person draped in dark clothing.
Okay.
But it looks like they have 6 arms.
And I'm gonna go, Black Widow. I'm like, hey, stop.
Okay.
But
Black Widow does not stop.
Okay, I prime my
Mom.
gravity cannon and say,
Mom.
stop right now or I'll shoot.
Okay.
Mom, and then you see me on top of his head.
Oh, did you jump down?
You haven't jumped yet. You just barely see Black Widow climbing out of this thing. You see your partner, you're aiming the cannon, and Black Widow begins to crawl around the side of the building.
Okay, can I see my partner at this point, or am I like?
Yeah, you saw him swing up to the top
I yell,
of the...
Spider-Man, come help me! I'm like just about to shoot him too. So if he's moving, I'm just gonna shoot.
Okay, so he's
see if I
crawling
can.
around.
And pretend I just let go behind him, and then I just like shooting my webs all around him, and then you blasted him.
Oh, you're shooting your webs around and I'm blasting? Fail for me.
Fail for you.
Sorry,
So you fire.
Fail.
You fire this gravity cannon, and it shoots past the Black Widow as
Dang
he
it.
just barely crawls around the corner. and it grabs onto the building. Your blast hits a building, and you see that the entire roof of the next building begins to rise off the ground. What do you do?
I web it and then I lift it up and I put it back on the building.
Okay, so you swing down and you grab onto the building, and because it's so lifted off the roof, you use your webbing and you begin starting to wind around it and tying it back down onto the building. Let's see if you succeed.
Okay, he got a black, so that means he failed.
Yeah.
I'm gonna yell. I'm gonna try to use my leadership skill and just say, "Hey, it looks like we're gonna have to just focus on Black Widow and fix the buildings later."
So what happens is, as you web the sides of the building, you're able to kind of tie it down, but one of the sides comes loose, and the roof suddenly lifts up like a giant lid to a box, with one side kind of tethered down to one, and you're just hanging on to it like it's a floating kite.
Boomerang!
Okay, how are you going to use your boomerang?
So I hold the bottom and I throw it.
Okay.
And it's metal, so it'll push it down.
Okay, so hearing your partner say...
I got the black, so that means one of the sides didn't have webbing.
Yeah, exactly. So hearing your partner say, "We gotta fix the building later," you decide to climb up to the edge of the roof, which is now the top of it, and you look down, you're looking for the Black Widow, but you're not sure where he is. There's a big crowd of people. Let's see if you're able to spot him in the crowd of people that are walking by. Lots of them have stopped and are staring at the building. Yeah.
Succeed. You should use it. I think you should.
Well, it always works when you draw.
Oh, okay. So he can.
Yeah, so you look down and you see that there's a bunch of people gasping as someone shoves past them with 6 arms pushing through the crowd. This ace also means that you can have a friend auto succeed later in the game. So go ahead and hold on to that. You can use it later if you want.
So
but you look
now
down,
have 2 aces.
and the Black Widow,
2 things work if it fails for me.
and the Black Widow is in the crowd. But you can't see him anymore. He's
Okay.
already gone beyond the buildings. What would you like to do?
Spider-Man, can you see him? I'll follow you.
Yes, I do.
Okay.
And
So
then I use my
I'm gonna keep
ace.
following
And
Spider-Man.
I just use my magnetic shield so I can grab him.
Okay.
Because one of his arms are metal.
Oh, he is carrying gold. Maybe
Actually-
it should work on gold.
Yeah, actually, right now, the Black Widow, you're right. One of his arms is metal because he got in an accident a long time ago and he had to get a special metal arm to replace one of his 6 arms. But on top of that, he has a giant bag of gold and maybe a mix of other metals. And so, as you go down, you decide that you're going to power up your shield, but you need to get closer. You're not close enough to do it. Are you going to try and get closer somehow?
Yeah, so I took up like all of the metal from the metal things, like a magnet, like everything that's metal, and then you power it up.
Okay.
And then I run to him, and then I'm really quiet, and then magnetic his gold and also his metal arm.
Okay, so you try to get closer. You leap off of the building, and as you're falling, the other buildings are shorter. You're not sure if you're going to be able to web it in time to swing close enough to use your magnetic shield. Would you like to use one of these, or would you like to use palladium? You're going to use your auto success? Okay, so as you're falling, you go to shoot your webbing and it grabs onto the roof of the building you just jumped off of, but as you swing down, the roof starts to sway and pull down. He's starting to fall out of place, but you're charging up your shield and that's working for the moment. Is there anything you'd like to do to help him?
Yeah, so my gravity cannon, I'm going to shoot it at him so he doesn't fall.
Okay, so you charge up, you have another shot charged up, you shoot the gravity cannon at him.
Yeah, so then I get the ball and then I
Succeed!
So you succeed, and suddenly you're hit with a blast of gravity, but Mom has it set, or Alicia has it set, or Knives has it set to anti-gravity. And so you suddenly pause, levitating in the air, just above the Black Widow as he begins to run away. And you have your magnetic shield charged up, and suddenly the Black Widow stops in place, his one arm being pulled towards you as he looks back and growls at you, his bag floating off of his back, and he's trying to resist you. I'm gonna...
Still have your boomerang.
Oh yeah. So and then I put it boomerang so hard out of his face, and then he gets a bruise on his nose.
Okay, first I'm gonna see if he is able to try and break free from the pull of your shield. He fails.
Yes!
So he stops in place. He's holding his heels and he's not able to break free, but he's stuck, and you decide to throw your boomerang.
Yeah, I just it's so hard, so he gets a really big boo-boo, and it covers his whole entire face.
Oh, you could knock him
Even
out.
it covers his whole entire body, so he'll be covered in boo-boo.
Okay, so you grab your boomerang and you throw it, and luckily your boomerang is coated in a thin rock-like material that stops the metal from being magnetic to your shield, because you've had both for a long time. You knew that this was important. So you already used that ace. I'm going to have you draw again. Another one. And with the success, your boomerang hits the Black Widow across the back, and he trips and he falls. And as he stands up, still pulling away, as he begins pulling away, the boomerang comes back around and it bonks him in the nose. And he kind of stumbles back and is suddenly sucked up into the air, and his arm, boom, attaches to your shield, and you reach around and you pull the gold out of his grasp. And right at that time, Mom...
Well, I have some anti-magic manacles. I'm curious how I can use those.
Okay,
So
well...
I put on those.
Well,
and
Dad's gonna explain really quick.
do you have an idea?
Yeah. So you put on those,
Okay.
and then you touch something, and then it makes your hands magnetic.
Okay.
And you can stick.
So the way that these anti-magic manacles work is if you put them on someone who has magical abilities, they won't be able to use any magic for a period of time.
Okay, well, I don't know how magical Black Widow is here, but I want to just slap some anti-magic manacles on him.
Okay, so walking over, they're still floating about 20 feet above you.
I'm going to release the charge on my anti-gravity cannon to slowly...
Okay, you slowly lower them.
Yeah.
They land on the ground, and with the gold in Ronan's hand, with the gold in Ronan's hand, the Black Widow is no longer feeling like running away, especially because one of his arms are stuck. And you grab those manacles and you attach him to two of his arms.
Yeah.
And as you do, you see his other arms begin to disappear. The ones that look like they're kind of out of place. They begin to fade away, and Black Widow is turned back into the normal thief that he is.
Oh.
You guys successfully caught him. Good job.
Okay, let's grab this gold and give it back to the leprechaun. I wonder...
So, taking the gold back to the leprechauns, they are very, very happy at what you've done, and they decide to give you something special. They go to the back of their store, and they come up front with a golden green, which means it's kind of gold, kind of green, 4-leaf clover.
Ooh, that means it's enchanted.
Yeah, and they hand it over to the both of you, and they say, "It's good for one wish, so make sure you make your wish wisely." And they hand it to you, and the guard later comes and pays you 200 gold for your troubles, and for doing their job for them. You now have 200 gold, and you have saved the day. And we'll have to save that 4-leaf clover for next time.
Yay, we did it!
Good job, guys. Anyway, so that was a story that we just made up on the spot. You can also kind of do a lot of prep for stories, have puzzles, have really cool hooks for them. There's lots of things you can do with this, but one of the best things is you can do this with your kids. You can do this with your friends, which would be a very, probably a different type of story. Or your kids can do it, because it's very easy to learn, and it's really just all about imagination and connection and teamwork, and it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, and specifically while we're in quarantine, the creativity and connection you can have with your family will surprise you and hopefully entertain you.
Yeah.
These are his drawings, though. I don't know if you can see them, but there's just really simple on a piece of computer paper, so nothing crazy. You have it in your craft drawer, I'm sure.
And all you need is a regular deck of playing cards.
Yeah.
So download our instructions. It'll walk you through how to do it, but you've seen it demonstrated here. It's really simple. Have fun.
Thanks!
Ronan, did you have fun?
Yeah.
Yay! Share with
Bye,
your
guys.
friends!
Was
and
that your
take
first time
videos.
playing it? Good job.